What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. This is going to be for Fear the Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 4, which this one is called 100. This episode for me really ramped up the show, I feel like. This episode was really great. Now, I don't think that after this episode I'm not like, oh my god, this is like the best show ever, but I do think that the show got just a little better after this episode. This episode really helped the show, I feel like. What we finally see Daniel come back. I mean, we saw him last week come back, but now we see how he made it to this point and how he survived to this point. And it's really cool. So I have basically no issues with this episode. This was a really great episode, but I only have one issue with this one, just one, and it's at the beginning. Not even the beginning, really. It's like before the beginning, story-wise. And what I mean is, so again, spoiler warning, basically Daniel, so you have the introduction, you see the first shot is the burnt compound, and you see him and he's just kind of walking around, barely though, and he's kind of, I would say, dying and burning and just all that kind of stuff, right? But the interesting thing here is that why in the world did they start the episode like that? I was going into this episode expecting the beginning to be, or at least at some point in this episode, to see what happened. Like, because you see at the end of the mid-season finale of Season 2, his feet are, like, around the fire. You clearly see the fire go up, but you don't see him actually get burnt by the fire yet. We don't go that far. So I thought, okay, we'd see the rest of that scene, we'd see him get burnt, and we'd see him on fire, and then he kind of escapes, right? Because he explained it to Ifren, the guy who found him, that, you know, I just somehow got out. I was like, man, that is really lazy writing, you know, like, I somehow got out, you know, so I got out somehow, I don't know, you know, so I was like, really, that's how they're gonna do it? Because then he's just somehow walking around, you know, that's how it starts. I'm like, really, man? Oh, I don't know. I had a big issue with that beginning, but anyway, the rest of this one was really good. The Spanish did not bother me at all. I didn't think it would, and it didn't. It really didn't affect me too much. But I really like the fact that we see how Daniel kind of gets in the group and how he, you know, gets to this current time, right? It's a really cool episode for that. And now, when we see a friend find him, he gives him water, and the water always drips out at 5 o'clock. And I like how that comes back into play when he's with the other guys from, you know, the group that he's with now there, right? The group, I don't really know their name, but Dante's group, right? When he's with some of Dante's men. That's a pretty cool part, right? So I really do like this episode when it comes to that, and I think that this episode, it really brought more attention to Daniel, because, I mean, it's almost an entire season we've gone without seeing him, and I really don't understand why it took this long to see what happened to him. They really should have shown it. Like, they should have done, you know, something around the lines of, like, the end of Season 2. I don't understand why we had to wait all the way until Season 3 to find out that he died, or that didn't die, right? So I was kind of frustrated. I was like, man, really? That's I don't know. I really feel like they could have brought him back sooner. But anyway, what I'm saying is I think this episode, it would have been better if this happened sooner, I guess is what I'm saying. But I can't wait to see what the outcome is now that we've seen, you know, everything happen. Now, he was in the CIA, which was really cool. He killed 96 people, and I kind of thought when he said 96, I was like, okay, we're probably going to see, you know, what I was at least guessing was we're going to see him kill 4 more, right? To add up to 100, because this episode's called 100. That's what I was thinking when he said that. And I also really like the part where, you know, he's praying, and then all of a sudden the lightning kind of hits him and the walker, the huge walker. That's pretty funny. So anyway, that's funny, but I found it was a little weird, you know, at the same time. But yeah, this episode, I still have my problems with this one, as you can tell, but I still really enjoyed this one, and I feel like this season is, I would say, better than the other two. Not that the other two were terrible, but I feel like this show, I feel like Fear the Walking Dead, is not amazing, not terrible, it's just okay. It's an okay series. It's not a fantastic series. I can't say that, mainly because of the fact that you do get sometimes episodes like, We All Fall Down from season 2 that is a little weak for the storyline, and that doesn't really do anything for the storyline either. So, yeah, but I am actually, after this episode, very excited to see next episode. This episode really got me excited. I really also like just everything they did with Efren. He tells him everything, how he got out and everything. So I like that he explained it, but it was very kind of black and white. It was very simple. There wasn't too many details there. And what the heck was up with the whole he falls asleep thing? Okay, that is another issue. Why the heck did he fall asleep? I don't get that at all. But anyway, I still like this episode. I know I keep making complaints, but I'm just kind of making observations here. And then Dante kind of wants to treat him good because he's a CIA, right? And then I like when he's punching Efren, right? He ends up with Dante's group, and they're trying to get information out of him. And they're like, here comes the expert, right? And then there's Daniel, right? And then we see them two meet again, and he punches him. But the only way to really do that, what he's trying to do is wait for the right moment to kill Dante. I think when he sees that, he thinks, okay, I'll probably kill some of these people, but I need to wait for the right time, so I need to do this, right? So he punches him, and then, man, when you get, they throw a couple people over, but then when they're ready to throw over the girl, and Strand and some of the others, first of all, he shoots the first one, he flips another one and pushes one off, and then, of course, at the end, he shoots Dante after he's like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he just kind of shoots him, right? So, really, really amazing as well. I really like this episode. I really like what they did with Daniel. I really like what they did with Strand and everything. And we'll have to see what the outcome is of this episode. And do people like this episode, or do people think it's kind of a weaker episode for the series? I would lean more towards saying I think this really is a great episode, just to show what happened to Daniel, where he's been, and all that kind of stuff. We see kind of the scene where he actually sees Strand gets captured. Who knew that all along last episode he was just standing right there and we just didn't see him. So that's cool as well. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really did. I thought this was a great episode. I'm going to give this one a 9.6. A really high rating for this one. I really enjoyed this one. So, anyway, guys, I will see you guys really soon for another Fear video. I got to do a predictions video for next week. So, I'll see you guys for that. Peace.